Lent is now upon us, and if you're anything like me, this new liturgical season stirs up a mix of feelings and anxieties. On the one hand, my perfectionist side wants to have the perfect Lent and to score a 10 out of 10 on keeping my Lenten resolutions. However, while the spirit is willing, the flesh is weak, and the sweet tooth feels a tinge of dread and forebode as it finds itself once again thrust into this sacred but penitential season of Lent. The first full week of Lent can be an opportunity to feel more acutely the sting of this forebode and dread. Perhaps, after a few stumbles in keeping our Lenten resolutions, the initial fervor of Ash Wednesday has worn off. Or perhaps there was no initial Ash Wednesday fervor, to be lost in the encounters with our own human frailty and weakness. Why is it that year after year we find ourselves in this season of mysterious mandated misery from the close of Carnival to Easter Day? Well, Lent becomes pretty pointless if we make ourselves the protagonists. Indeed, the inevitable challenges and struggles of wrestling with our own brokenness become all the more pronounced. However, when we invite God to take His place as the protagonist, the outlook is transformed. God has called us to share in His very divine life. By becoming a human being, by living among us, by dying and rising again, Jesus Christ, His Son, has restored to us that life-giving communion of friendship that was lost in the fall. Our entry into this divine life is our baptism. By our baptism, we are incorporated into Christ. His death is our death to sin. His resurrection is our birth to new life. Thus, in the light of the Paschal mystery of Jesus Christ and the new life which He has given us through our baptism, the season of Lent takes on its true meaning. Lent is a time of considering our life in the light of Jesus Christ. It is as if our life is like a journey through outer space, with the sun as our goal. As we are zipping through life in our spaceships, inevitably obstacles arise, which eclipse the light of the sun, and get in the way of us achieving the goal of our mission. Thus, at times, it is necessary to identify those obstacles and to make needed adjustments to our course. However, the main focus is always not on the obstacles themselves, nor even on our own competency or lack thereof in piloting the spaceship. True, these factors do enter the equation, but only insofar as they relate to completing the mission. In a similar way, Lent is not so much a time of church-sanctioned self-help or self-improvement, or a church-mandated diet regimen, or even a down payment on the party of Easter. Rather, it is a time to consider what things might be eclipsing the light of Christ in our lives. It is a sacred season, dedicated to helping us identify and work around those things which eclipse the light of Christ. Of course, this task is challenging, and not always pleasant. However, when Jesus is the protagonist of Lent, and not ourselves, the challenges are an invitation to hope, and not to despair. As Pere Jacques, whose text we've been reading throughout this retreat, once mentioned in a retreat that he gave to young philosophy students, Christ is the truth. We will never be the truth. There will always be burrs and imperfections. But despite this mix, we can still do good work. The work of becoming ever more closely conformed to the light of truth is the work of a lifetime. Yet, be not afraid. So as we enter into this first full week of Lent, let us seek to recast our lives in the light of Christ. Let us recast our Lenten experience in the light of His Paschal mystery.